All right, this is Alex All Jets and my biweekly for the 2 week of February 2nd, 2024. This is the flowchart of the OATP variant project that I'm kind of working on right now. So first we would, or I guess I kind of compared OATP substrates to Alzheimer's drugs using the clustering Python script that Mercer wrote. And then after that, kind of switched to gathering OATP variants and then classifying those interactions that the variants have with substrates, which variants still continue to bond with these substrates and which ones it's not a substrate anymore. And then plug the amino acid codes that I gathered in collab-fold or AlphaFold and find structures, and then use those structures to dock uh, the variants to Alzheimer's drugs. Then want to look at that and identify the variants that would be good for further testing. And that shouldn't say OTP variants, that should say drugs must act for further testing on one of those. And after that, we can proceed to in vitro testing with the drugs and variants identified. So right now, I am focusing on, or right now I'm on the step of finding the structures of the OTP variants using collab-fold right now, or AlphaFold kind of. So the progress that I'm making in that, I got a few errors cleared up in the OTP group meeting on Movex term with Anaconda not cooperating. So I did end up plugging in like a batch of jobs, but I didn't send it to the HPCC. I just did it on like my own computer. And it didn't like that. It eventually kicked me off. It just said like killed program or something like that. It's kind of weird. Um, and then from this, those structures can be plugged into AutoDock or Rosetta or Dock with the drugs. Have this, I'd say, rather hastily made figure. So we can say plug the OATP amino acid sequence into collab-fold, get out a structure, then dock that with Alzheimer's drugs. I believe this is the Pymol structure for one of the like early to moderate Alzheimer's drugs. And then from there, we'd get a docking result, see if it docks or not. So, this coming 2 weeks, I got to write about my experiences with the OATP structures, I believe. Experiences with that, and also effects that polymorphisms have on OATP function. So I do have a couple questions for this, but I just had them on my questions slide. So I'll ask that later. Then I looked at, my mom actually sent me this article, and it was really interesting. It was published in like Nature Medicine or something, but they found like the first Alzheimer's disease cases that were like transmitted from a person to another person. So it was through this, like they don't use the process anymore, but these people had been treated with the cadaver-derived pituitary growth hormone, obviously from cadavers, which had amyloid beta, which they said is like a kind of a signal essentially for Alzheimer's disease. And like one other thing, but that wasn't related to Alzheimer's disease. But they've been passed on. It seems kind of like a prion disease. This is the first that I'm hearing of prion diseases. It was passed on through proteins. It was interesting. I was doing my biweekly right now, so
What?
I'm just making a video
Oh.
right now, send it to the thing. Yeah. But it might have been a specific strain of this amyloid beta that was passed on, kind of based on how the disease acted, how the Alzheimer's disease acted in the patients. Um, but so I just kind of thought this was interesting that Alzheimer's disease specifically, because we're looking at it, could be passed on like from a person to another person, especially with like kind of protein functions. So I don't know how obviously applicable or not this would be to our data, but it seemed like intuitively, if a protein is put into another person and it causes a disease, then if we put a protein into a person, like the variants or something, then it could cause another disease. But obviously, I don't think this is a huge deal with like liver transplants or something like that, unless it is. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting paper that had to do with Alzheimer's disease. Then some questions. Yeah, like what style kind of should I write for the paragraph responses? Like, I'm assuming it's not like I'm not just talking about, oh, it was really hard to do collab fold, but I don't like I kind of don't know what I should be focusing on and what I should be kind of spending time on talking about, whether like that's the experience or kind of the aim that I hope to gain from this or everything. I don't know. So I just have questions about that. And then the flow chart, like if it's good, I was, like these two, um, obviously when I'm supposed to say drugs, but I'm not sure if like that should happen or if that needs to be collapsed into one or if I should be even including this top one because like it kind of wasn't in the same project, but it kind of was. I don't know, like I guess what are your thoughts on it? Because that's what I came up with the first time. And then for figures, like I realized that having really well made um pictures or diagrams is like helpful and helps you understand and keeps you engaged because it's something cool to look at. Um, but I have just kind of struggled to come up with like it doesn't seem obvious to me that like, oh yeah, I need a diagram that looks like this in any of my slides. The one that I did make right here, um, like I had to go through after I made it, and like the second time around, I was like, oh, like maybe I can put um like a diagram kind of thing in here. But yeah, like I guess that's something that I want to get good at because it seems like it'd be applicable to many things, and it is seems valuable. But yeah, it's not a skill that I have right now. So, all right, that's it for is biweekly. I'll see you tomorrow.